Bob calls in once or twice a year. Bob is a graduate of Stanford. So he's a smart guy. So he's not going to slur his words, and he's going to articulate on some fun restaurants and places that we should go to. Sushi, pizza, steak, Italian. What do you got for us, Bob?
Well, a couple of fun little spots that I love to go. Kind of under the radar. There's a burger and kind of sandwich and fries place in Solana Beach called Chiefs Board and Brew. I think it's called, but Chiefs right at the train station in Solana Beach. Super cool spot, lively crowd. They have actually a full bar, beer and wine as well. But that's a good little spot. My friend, our friend Paul Marty, he's a connoisseur of Budweiser beer.
No,
he likes to go to Tidewater. Tidewater's a good spot, and Paul likes going there to get a Budweiser every now and then.
Okay.
And there's also a cool little spot called Pillbox.
Yes.
Which is owned by the people that own Saddle Bar. It's right near the train stop as well.
Right. Okay. I think last year you called and you gave me a sushi restaurant, and I can't remember that because we were talking about Sapporo, and you go, oh, the best sushi deal in Solano. I think it was Solano Beach.
The best sushi deal in Solana Beach is a place called Station Sushi. It's fantastic. Again, it's actually right near the train station as well on Pacific Coast Highway. And my favorite dish there is the protein roll. It's about $19, but it's a ton of food. You need nothing else. If you want to go upscale, spend a ton of money, but maybe have the best sushi you've ever had in your life, you want to go to Ken's Workshop. It's in Southeast Del Mar. It's fantastic. It's just east of the 5 freeway in South Del Mar.
They tell me that the rich guys from Santa Fe or Rancho Santa Fe, they'll come down to Del Mar and go to places like Pamplemousse and Tractons looking for the young fillies. Is that still going on?
I don't know how young they are, but
are we talking about horses? What are we talking about?
Well, I don't know what you're talking about. The Pamplemousse is fantastic. It's pricey, but worth it. The market in kind of East Del Mar off of Villa de Valle is superb. Red Tractons also is old school, great steak. You can't beat that. I mean, those are great spots. There's kind of
you mean the fish? You mean the fish market?
The fish market is great as well.
Oh, okay. Oh, when you said the market, I thought you meant the fish market.
There's the market, which is an upscale kind of Pamplemousse type of restaurant.
Okay.
It's in Eastern Del Mar towards Rancho Santa Fe. The fish market is great. I love it. It's right there in Del Mar, right off the freeway there.
Duckett's Buckets.
There's also a cool little spot. Danny Sabika has had his Sabika restaurant on 15th Street in Del Mar, right across the street from the post office near L'Auberge. And that's a neat spot. And if you're looking to party it up, I haven't been there yet, but I hear Monarch in the plaza is superb as well.
Been there, loved it. It's where the I guess El Fornayo is up there as well. Been there, love it. That's a place right there. And I didn't think it was that expensive.
Back when it was the Mexican restaurant,
yes.
I used to like to take my wife or girlfriend or whatever up there. But
yeah.
But it'd be probably a romantic spot to watch the sunset as well, I think.
Yeah, it is a nice spot. And I remember my friend Blake took me there. And it was a Mexican restaurant before, and they turned it around to something that's really respectable. That's for sure. All right, Bob Hess is on the phone. Bob is a thoroughbred trainer here in Southern California. How you doing today, Bob?
I'm kind of on suicide watch. I've had 3 seconds, which sounds great, but it's all about winning. So right. I'm not on suicide watch, but we got to win. So actually, if anyone out there wants to bet a little bit, we like Miss Maddie B in the 10th at Del Mar, which runs, I think, in about an hour and a half or so.
Miss Maddie B in the 10th. I like Rhea Moon in the, I think, in that race. It's a maiden. It's a claim $80,000 claimer. Rhea Moon was entered yesterday in the $300,000 turf race, and then they scratched it to put him in a run with her friends. I think it is. That's who I'm going with in that race, Ray Moon. But your horse sounds really good too. Hey, we got Richard here from Felipe's. When is the last time you've been to Felipe's?
I'm blanking out. Where is Felipe's?
Felipe's the French dip place. The place that is like 100 years old, famous for French dips. Is there any place in Del Mar that makes those kind of, soft sandwiches, the French dip?
The Felipe's in downtown LA you're talking about?
Yeah.
Or no?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah, I know. I love that place.
Yeah.
I haven't been there for 100 years, but it's the best.
Well, you were there when it opened then.
Yeah, as a new owner.
Yeah. My friend Jeet Dolan actually took me there on opening day when the Dodgers played the Giants about 15 years ago.
Right.
And I saw Barry Bonds hit a rocket homer in the first inning that day. But no, that's a great spot. No, that's a unique spot. Nothing like that around here.
Okay. All right. Pizza. Give me a pizza spot. And you talked about the Pamplemousse and Tractons, but is there anything off like Solano Beach or Encinitas that we can get a good steak for? God, I hate to say it, around $45 or $50?
I think maybe Pacific Coast Grill could be kind of that up in Cardiff.
Okay.
But no, everything's pretty pricey. A little sleeper pizza place in a super family-friendly kind of outdoor patios, Del Mar Pizza, right on 15th Street again in Del Mar proper. They have great salads, great wine, good beer, and really, really good pizza. Del Mar Pizza on 15th.
I'm going to mention this. I don't remember the name, but you knew it because I brought it up last year, and you said it right away. In Torrey Pines, there's a place that I don't know the name of the restaurant, but I was just down there 2 weeks ago for my birthday, and my buddy Blake got us crack tri-tip.
That's Seaside Market. Is that what you're talking about?
That is it. Yes. And I got it.
That's where you're going to get great red meat steak. And they sell it right out. That is one of the best markets in probably the world.
Best
great
tri-tip I don't know. Top 5 tri-tip that I've ever had in my life. So
Cardiff
good.
Crack, they call it.
Cardiff Crack. Yeah. Richard, have you heard of Cardiff
I've
Crack?
had it.
Oh, you've had it.
It's not my favorite.
What?
No, I don't like the wine
taste
on it.
The wine taste?
Yeah.
Well, usually by the time
I can do a better one.
Oh, wow. There you go, Philippe. Philippe's. All right. Bob Hess, anything else that we should know? Anything else you want to talk about or plug?
No, I think
we need a wine bar.
Before
Before we let you go, we need a wine bar. Come on. Someplace after the track when we've won money, or like Napoleon used to say, in victory and defeat, where do we go just for a glass of wine after the racetrack?
I think Sabika has a great wine menu, and it's right there in Del Mar on 15th Street.
Hey, Brigantine is great, but I appreciate you not bringing that up because everybody knows about that. The fish tacos, my friend Brian says they're the world's best. I go,
If you want a good fish taco, go to Tidewater.
Tidewater, all right.
A third the price, and they have good Budweiser. Just says Paul Murray.
All right, Bob Hess, thank you for the phone call. Excellent job, as always. That's Bob Hess calling in from Del Mar. I hope you guys had a pen and paper ready because he gave out 8 or 9 great restaurants. I wanted to bring this for you, Richard, because Richard and I and my friend Phil Marty from Sapporo have something in common. We all like Mai Tais. Would you say that?
Exactly, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Gladstone's in Long Beach, top 5. Canoe House in South Pasadena, like them too. Damon's out in Glendale.
Yeah.
You've probably had a few of those.
Oh, I have.
I don't know if it's still open. It's called the Royal Hawaiian in Laguna Beach.
Huh, I don't know.
That one, they had the Lapu Lapu and the Mai Tai. That one was killer. It's still there. Okay. That one was our favorite. That's how, when I was a young lad in my 20s, we got accustomed to Mai Tais, the Lapu Lapu. We came in a giant fishbowl. Oh, remember Bahukas on Rosemead?
Yeah,
With
sure.
Giant fishbowl. Let's see, where else? We went to, Phil Marty and I from Sapporo went to Billy's on the beach in Newport Beach.
Yeah.
Hey, As my
That's
dad, as my dad used to say, hey, if you're in the neighborhood, stop on by.
I think
get
the
a Mai
ice.
Tai.
I think the ice makes a big difference.
The ice makes a huge difference to me. My friend David Yost, who owns 8 or 9 or had 8 or 9 restaurants, Shakers and Beckham Grill and all those places in Pasadena, opened up a canoe house with the Hawaiian-style Polynesian, the Spam and all that kind of stuff. And after a week, I said 2 things, Mr. David Yost, 2 things for a successful Mai Tai. You got to have crushed ice, and you got to have a Myers float. The Royal Hawaiian doesn't use a Myers float because I talked to the new owner, and this is a few years ago, obviously, and he said, no, we tried 27 different rums as the float, and actually one of the cheaper rums came out on top. But for me, what they do at the canoe house, and I think they do the same thing at Gladstone's, is it's half cubes and then half crushed ice. They put it on the top, and then you can do the whole thing. But it's got to have a float. If you go to a restaurant and you order a Mai Tai, you got to say, and people will do this and say, Peter Dills said, you got to put a good float on there. But I bring this up because it's National Mai Tai Day next week, and one of our partners on the show is Cutwater. Cutwater. It is RTD, ready to drink. You go to Vaughn's, Albertsons, Pavilions. They're in the refrigerated section. It's called Cutwater. They do vodka mule, not to be confused with the Russian mule, Russian stuff. And then they have Bloody Marys. It's all in a can, and it's called Cutwater. But my favorite one is the Mai Tai. It's in a can, and it's pretty darn good. I've had a few of them in the can, but for me, this one seems to be the best. Again, and then I'm not putting Billy's down, but I just thought, $15.
It's expensive.
It's $15, but then again, you're on the beach, right? Or you're on the
bay.
On the bay, you're overlooking the water, and Fletcher Jones couldn't be wrong, right?
That's one drink I cannot make.
You know what the challenge is now with Del Mar, and I should have brought this up with Bob Hess, is that they're doing really well down there. Even I don't know how the economy is going, and we know about gas prices. But the hotels that I used to stay at, Richard, down at Del Mar, $200, $225, $400. Stay in Encinitas now, $400, $500. It is expensive. I think in our minds we can adjust to expensive food. I went to the Chop House Friday night. I $85 for a steak now. I mean, it's just the way it is.
Yeah.
But when you get there and you think, okay, I know that the restaurants are going to be expensive, but then you get the hotel part of it, and you're staying at, which is the Best Western or Motel 6, and they're getting $300. It's just, wow.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
We used to go down there and go to Bully's.
Yes.
I love Bully's.
God, Bully's. I've got some great.
It's no longer there, but.
Yeah, they bulldozed it. They actually,
Did they?
Yeah, they bulldozed Bullies.
Oh,
But there were 2, I think. But anyway, there were 2 Bullies. I don't know if the other one is still around, but they actually bulldozed Bullies, and that was a great place. God, I mean, I was down there again, like I said a couple weeks ago, and I just picture like when Bing Crosby and all those people were going down there. What was in Del Mar? I would think nothing
except the racetrack.
Yeah. And now it's a mecca of shopping centers and restaurants, and it's just its own little community. Anyway, it's Peter Dills, AM 830 KLAA.